We are back here on Sports Talk, a special edition here on Blue Ridge 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chad Landers, and we are rolling along with our LL Football Coaches Show. Next up in Section 2, we welcome on the head ball coach of Manheim Central, Dave Hahn, in his 7th year with the Barons. Boy, 7 years. I can't believe we're saying that. Does it feel like 7 years for you, Coach, or how you feeling?
It feels like 77 years at times, but no, it's been a good 7 years.
So this start to this year, a lot different than last year. How are you guys feeling about kind of being back to a little bit more normal, getting ready for a 10-game schedule, all of that?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of trying to find that groove, getting back into it. We're awfully excited about the season ahead of us, and we're very grateful that we got an opportunity to kind of get through our preseason routine. That's something that we really missed out on last year. And I really feel bad for the kids. That were on the team last year that they didn't get to kind of see what their true potential was.
So you and I have had conversations before about the way your seasons end and how the kids respond and how they really a lot of times want to get right back at it, get in the weight room, get ready for the next year. After that 3-5 season, a season that you guys haven't seen since the 70s, How was the team? How were you? Did you have to have a message to the guys for this upcoming year? How did that go for you?
Well, our season kind of ended abruptly on us after our 8th game, and then because that was right around Thanksgiving too. So I think it was a week before, and then school was let out then too. So the kids got some time off. And then we got back into it and really got started in January. And then it was just all systems go. I mean, everybody had a bad taste in their mouth. Everybody wanted to work hard. And I think the kids had a great off season. You know, from January on, they've had a great off season. All
right. Eric May, you're going to be calling lots of Manheim Central football games this year. Why don't you hop in here and fire away?
Yeah, I guess I want to start off, Dave, is with what is near and dear to your heart, and that's the offensive line. I think one area that you definitely wanted to focus on in the upcoming season. How have these guys improved from last year, and what are you seeing out of them so far in the summer camp?
Right. So, yeah, these guys, the line's always kind of been a special place for me, and these guys are no different this year. They're all 5 of the guys that are on the line are back. They've all got playing experience. 4 of them are starters, and we're working in a couple other guys to kind of build some depth. And we've made significant strides from where we were last year. I think you'll definitely see a different group. But that's a product of having an off season and being able to do the things that we do and working with the kids. You know, I think you'll see a lot of improvement out of a lot of schools. Technically, you'll see kids that are more sound and better players. So I'm excited to see what our guys can do. I think, we went against Township this past weekend, and the line held up very well, did a good job. There's a couple things we need to work on, and we will, and we'll get better. So we're excited about where we're at with the line.
And what kind of numbers are you looking at as far as kids out? And is there enough depth that you might have guys just going one way, or are we going to see more two-way players, especially on the line of scrimmage?
As much as we can, we're going to play as many kids as we can. But if we don't feel like they're ready for a Friday night experience, then we may have to go 2 ways with some kids or find a rotation so that we can give those guys a breather, especially early in the season when you're talking about these, Friday is supposed to be 90 degrees. So by game time, you're still going to be probably looking at, 80s, and until it cools down a little bit. So you want to be able to kind of build in some reps with having some other guys going there. And that's what we're doing. It's kind of no different than we've done in the past. We're trying to build depth and have a rotation, and especially on our defensive line. And hopefully we could settle in on 5 guys that are on our offensive line.
Yeah. Well, and, talking about the offense, and, I look at what Judd Novak did last year as a first-year quarterback, and I really think he was overlooked for, the success he had and the numbers he put up. Obviously, in a nice combo with Sensenig as well. How have these guys progressed, and how have they improved from last year?
They have been uh, ultra on point. I mean, it's probably a bad analogy, but they've been on point with what they want to do. Um, they know what their goals and their objectives are, and they have been working their tails off. Together, individually, they've been working hard. And the thing that's been great is they've been the leader amongst other kids. So they've been bringing along other kids and doing the same thing. So it's been good.
For my money, Coach Hahn, it feels like Novak is probably the most experienced quarterback in this section. That's got to give you guys a leg up coming into this season where Section 2 seems wide open. You guys are trying to bounce back from last season, and to have Novak as the leader, to have gone through some of the struggles and to see what doesn't work in your system and now to see what does work in your system, do you feel like that's going to give you an advantage here as you embark on this new season, which, by the way, is a pretty tough start to your schedule?
You think? Yeah. I don't know if it gives us a leg up. I think I just know that Judd's worked awfully hard to be the guy. He's really put a lot of time in. There was many nights that Judd and our backup quarterback Zach would go to work with Jim Contafio just for some extra work. We like kind of taking them elsewhere, giving them some extra work, hearing some different voices. They've done the camps. They've put in the time. They've worked real hard. You got to remember with Judd last year during the off season, Judd had shoulder surgery. So he wasn't able to train. He wasn't able to do the things that, every normal kid's going to do, let alone add the pandemic to it. So he wasn't really throwing the ball until we got cleared to go in August last year. So that's where the timing with the receivers and just the arm strength wasn't there right away. But by the end of the season, he really started to take shape and form and really performed. And then you put in this off season with the work he's put in, and he's grown. Judd's standing at 6 foot now. He's about 165 pounds, 170 pounds. He's shifty. He's athletic. I love the fact that he's a point guard in basketball, and he just knows how to take command of the field and the court. He does the same thing on the field.
Well, if the Novak pedigree is anything, then we probably expect big things from him. Yeah. What about some of the other key skill positions around him? I mean, obviously it's him and Sensenig, a nice 1-2 combo, but I mean, you guys always seem to have those pieces that show up that are going to perform. Who are some of the names we should look out for this year?
Some of our receivers, obviously we have Sensenig on the outside. We have Luke Lastinger, who's really had a good offseason. Landon McGallagher, who's a junior, who's had a good offseason. On the inside, we have Mason Weaver, Brady Harbach, who Brady just has got a knack for finding open field and he's got great hands catching the ball. We have some up and comers that are sophomores and Aaron Enterline and Bodie Seipel, who won't surprise me if they get on the field sooner rather than later, because they're that competitive and they're working that hard. So we have a nice stable of receivers that I'm very excited about. And there's some others in there too. I always hate saying the names, but because you don't want to miss anybody, but there's plenty of guys. At running back, we're excited about what we have there. Last year we went into the season not having a proven running back. We didn't know what we were going to turn to and what was going to happen. And that's kind of been our story for 2 years. And this year, I don't feel that way at all. I feel like, we have a junior, Jaden White coming back. We have senior Justin Heffernan. We have a junior H-back, tailback, Rocco Doherty. We have Larry Marley, who's also at receiver. And so he's kind of doing both, dual threat there for us. And then we have two young ones in Kai Watson and Bryson Arnold, who I'm really excited about as well. So I feel like we have a stable of running backs this year.
Wow.
And then at tight end, we got a newcomer. We went out and recruited. Don't worry, we recruited from our own school. But we got Logan Hostetter, who was a basketball player, and he still is. But we brought him back in the fold, and he played when he was younger, and he hasn't disappointed. Man, he's had a great summer, had a great camp, and then he went out there and had a tremendous scrimmage. So we were really excited about him.
How tall is he?
6'1".
Okay. I thought maybe you were going to have like a 6'7" guy running patterns out there. Eric, go ahead. Fire away, bud.
Only 6'7" guy I know is over there in Denver.
Yeah.
You guys got him.
All right. I want to talk about the defense. Last year you guys were involved in a lot of high scoring affairs. So is this defensive unit coming in with a chip on their shoulder this year as far as trying to really put the clamps on opposing offenses?
I think the kids have short-term memory. I mean, I think some of them are, because a lot of them are back. But I will tell you this: I know that our defensive staff has a little bit of chip on their shoulder, so they do a tremendous job of coaching our kids up and educating them in the game and what we want to do, and then what the opposing teams do. So I think we'll see a different defense out there again. Again, when you were faced with what we were faced last year, I just feel like the bigger talented teams really had an advantage last year. Those smaller schools, they thrive on working harder and outworking everybody. We're at a little bit of a disadvantage last year because we didn't have that opportunity to do that. So I think you're going to see, you'll see something different out of us this year.
And obviously, looking at the guys returning from last year, you've got some guys returning that were on the line, linebackers, and then the secondary. So definitely some guys that all had valuable playing time last year. Now I guess it's just a matter of filling in the holes.
Yeah. We have let's see, on the defensive line, I know Tyler Fonestock and Logan Saunders are back. So we got a tackle and end back. We have Rocco Doherty's back at linebacker. In the secondary, we have Landon McGallagher and Mason Weaver, our safeties. And then we have Owen Sensenig, Larry Marley. We got Judd Novak all at corner. So we got a number of guys back that are battle-tested, experienced, that know what happened last year, and they don't want it to happen again. I mean, and I believe in those guys over there on the defensive side of the ball. I think Rocco Doherty is only a junior, but you talk about a leader and how he handles himself day in and day out. He's exciting. So I think he's gonna lead us.
Love that name. It's a great football name, Rocco Doherty. Hey, we are running out of time, but real quick, you guys start the season off with Cumberland Valley, a traditional football power in District 3. How are you feeling about that matchup and getting the season going here on Friday?
I'm excited about it. I think it's a great opportunity for us. It's a great opportunity for us to go out and prove that, we didn't disappear. We can get back in the saddle and play with anybody. And I told our kids today, I said, on Saturday, Manheim Township rolled in here with 80 guys, and we were at 40, and the same thing's going to happen Friday night. But if we have the right 40 playing together and doing their thing, we'll battle.
I like that. I like hearing that. Honestly, it sounds like Manheim Central is primed for a bounce-back year. We cannot wait to see. By the way, we have Manheim Central on the channel here on Blue Ridge 11 Week 2 against Hempfield, so we'll see you for that. Coach, good luck this year. We'll see you soon, and hopefully we'll see the Barons out there in their usual form.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
This year, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
All right, coming up after the break, we will switch over to one of Manheim Central's rivals in Section 2, and it will be Calico. We're coming back with the Eagles in just a bit.